Okay. Uh, Welcome to the open enrollment meeting for 2024. Uh, Thank you all for being present. I know we made these meetings mandatory because there's so many changes that are going to be occurring this plan year. So not just the medical, uh, dental, all of it, there are changes. We welcome your questions, but I would recommend that you might want to pause for a moment before you ask your question until they finish on that subject, because oftentimes what happens is that the next slide will have your answer. We have representatives here from PFFA. Also, start moving on. Blue Cross Blue Shield is present as well. Same with AFLAC. So a couple of things. Number one, please make sure you complete your open enrollment by May 23rd. Because if you do not enroll in anything, you will not get anything. Your elections from the previous year will not roll over to the new year. Another important point is that when you're enrolling in any plan, of course, you're going to add yourself, but make sure that you also select which dependents are getting added on to each plan, whether it's medical, dental, or vision. So with all that said, I'm going to turn it over to Julie, and she's going to get things started with our benefit package.
Thanks, Kiana.
You're welcome.
Okay, like Fiona said, it is open enrollment. So welcome to the PFFA Trust Open Enrollment. We're excited to have you. Open enrollment is now through May 23rd, but all of your benefits will start changing 7/1. So you still have your current benefits until July 1st. You do need to log on to UKG to do all of your changes. If you do not, you will not have any coverage because everything is new. So please make sure that you go online and make your elections. Blue Cross Blue Shield will be the new medical carrier. So we're going to talk about that. And we have Blue Cross here. MetLife will replace dental, vision, life, fall life, identity theft, pet insurance, and legal. HSA limits are changing for 2024. And Sedona is still contributing to your HSA accounts if you choose to enroll in one of those accounts. And all of that is in the booklet that is in front of you, and it is posted on the UKG site as well. And we also have some value-added programs just for you firefighters and your families. So we're excited to talk to you about those value adds. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa from Blue Cross, and she's going to talk to you about the medical plans.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
We're pleased to be your carrier starting July 1st. These plans will run from July 1st to June 30th. So that means your deductibles will start over July 1st as this runs on a plan year. We're going to take a look at what your medical options are starting July 1st, as well as some tools and resources, some other access to quality care, and some other options that are available to you just for being a member of Blue Cross. So we'll go ahead and start with the PPO 900 plan. It's going to be $900 for an individual and $1,800 for family. Now, keep in mind, your deductible only comes into play on the PPO plan for things like inpatient hospitalization, outpatient surgery, some of those high-tech radiologies such as MRIs, CAT scans, PET scans, and a few other things. Once you do reach your deductible, if you have any services that go towards deductible, then you will be responsible for 20% until you reach your out-of-pocket maximum. If you're just going to see your provider, if you're going to see a primary care, it's $25. And if you're going to see a specialist, it's $40. Of course, if you go to the emergency room, it's $150 access fee. And the urgent care is $75. Now your out-of-pocket max on this plan is $3,250 for an individual and $6,500 for family. The prescriptions are $5, $25, and $40. Most of the time, your generics are going to fall into that $5 range. And then as the prescriptions increase, so do your copays. However, if you are on any maintenance medications, you can get a 3-month supply for just 2 months copayment, saving yourself copayments throughout the year. Now, keep in mind these benefits that I'm showing you, both for the PPO plan and the high deductible health plan, are your in out-of-network benefits. Your out-of-network benefits are not as rich, and keep in mind that the providers can balance bill because they are not contracted with Blue Cross. You have two options for the high deductible health plan. Is anyone currently enrolled on a high deductible?
Everybody.
So as you know, with the high deductible health plan, there are no co-payments until after you meet your deductible, and then your prescriptions fall into co-payments. Otherwise, you're responsible for the full contracted rate until you reach your deductible. We strongly recommend that you have the provider bill Blue Cross. You pay them before, a lot of times they are overcharging you, and we know it can take 30 to 60 days, not longer, to get reimbursement from the provider. So on the high deductible, 3,200, it's 3,200 for an individual and 6,000 for
Pause for
family.
one moment. Sorry about that.
Okay,
Okay, we're good.
okay. And 6,000 for family. Now, once you reach your deductible, you are covered at 100% except for your prescriptions. The most you will pay on this plan is 4,000 for an individual and 8,000 for family. Your prescriptions, after you meet your deductible, are $5, $15, and $30. And again, on the high deductible health plans, you can get a 3-month supply for 2 co-payments as well. Moving over to the high deductible 5,000. It's 5,000 for an individual and 10,000 for family. Now, this plan works a little bit differently in that once you meet your deductible, you'll be responsible for 20% co-insurance until you reach your out-of-pocket maximum, which is $6,450 for an individual and $12,900 for family. Now, the prescription tier on this one is a 4-tier, unlike the high deductible 3,200 and PPO 900. It's $10, $60, $110, and $150. Now, you will notice on our pharmacy list that they are 4-tier, whereas the 3,200 and 900 have a 3-tier. If you're looking at our pharmacy list and you see a drug that is in the 4th tier, and you're on the 3,200 or 900 plan, the 3rd and 4th tier prescriptions fall into the 3rd tier. Does that make sense to everyone? On all 3 plans, your preventive services are covered at 100%, so we strongly recommend getting those annual checkups, getting those screenings, the mammograms, the colonoscopies. Make sure you get your immunizations. We know it's, yes,
Is that all still covered under our annual physical
yes.
through the department? Like,
So-
does that qualify us for,
It's a separate physical.
okay.
So you have your department physical that you get the HSA 254.
Yeah,
But this physical actually refers to one that you can get with your personal
this would be
doctor,
more like a PCP.
and,
Okay.
right, and for your family members as well,
Okay.
who are on the plan.
And it includes your children as well. They need their annual checkups. We know as firefighters, you're already living that healthy life, except for maybe those days when you have some extra time off.
Sure.
So-
Not overdosing on coffee or anything.
Overdosing on something else, right? Some ways to save money is to make sure you utilize in-network providers. Make sure you only utilize the emergency room and emergency life or limb. Use the urgent care if your primary care physician is unavailable, or utilize our telehealth services, which I'll go over in a later slide. Make sure you register at our portal, as there are some cost-saving tools that are available to members on there as well. So this is what our portal looks like when you go to log in and or register. You'll be able to search for providers, have access to nurse on call and telehealth, our clinical rapid response team, and as I mentioned, the pharmacy tools and screen. On our website, you'll be able to see your ID card, print an ID card, order a new ID card, or maybe you need an additional one. You'll be able to check your accumulators for your deductible and out-of-pocket max. You'll be able to see if a claim's been submitted, if it's in being processed and how it was processed. You'll be able to utilize our cost comparison tool as well as the pharmacy tool, which I'll also go over. When you search for a provider, you can search by provider name, provider type, facility name, or facility type. You can also switch up your location, whether you're in Sedona or maybe traveling throughout the United States. You want to make sure you see an in-network provider wherever you are. I mentioned our cost comparison tool, which is really helpful for those members that are on the high deductible health plan. You might want to find out what a procedure is going to cost, whether it be an office visit, an MRI, or some type of surgery. You can search for that type of procedure. It will give you several locations where you can get that procedure done to let you know what the cost is in advance. It will take into account any claims that have been received and processed at the time of your inquiry. We know a lot of times getting an MRI in a freestanding facility versus a hospital is a lot less costly and can save you money. You can do the same thing on the pharmacy screen. You can search for the price of your prescriptions. If you're on a brand name medication, it will also give you options for generics that you can discuss with your provider. We'll also show you several pharmacies so you can compare costs from one pharmacy to another, as well as the cost for mail order. Whether you're on your computer, tablet, or mobile device, you'll be able to see the exact same information. I know with some websites, you don't always see the same thing on your phone as you do on the computer. We've recently done an upgrade to our systems so that you have the same access, whether it be in the palm of your hand or at your computer. You can say it's not an app, but it's a web-based, azblue.com. You can save that to your home screen so that you have it available. Maybe you're in the doctor's office and he says, I'm going to put you on this prescription. You check it, it's $1,000. You're like, I don't want to pay $1,000 for this prescription. You can ask them for alternatives to find a cheaper one right there while you're in the office versus waiting to go back to your computer. We also have some additional options for care if you can't get into your primary care physician. We have our virtual Blue Care Anywhere, sorry about that, telehealth, available 24/7. You can search for a physician, a psychologist, or a psychiatrist. When searching for a provider, you can ask for first available, or you can scroll through and read a little bit about the provider before you select your appointment. Once you have your appointment, they'll send you a detailed report, and if you need a prescription, they'll call in a prescription to your local pharmacy. Also have access to Nurse on Call 24/7. You've gotten a new prescription and you're not sure how it'll interact with other prescriptions, they can help you with that. You've got symptoms that you're not sure what they are, you're not sure, should I go to PCP, urgent care, where should I go? They can also assist you with that. Additionally, if you have any chronic conditions, they can answer any questions you may have regarding your chronic condition. On our website, we have our AI Raina, who can answer any questions if you're having trouble navigating the site. You'll also have access to customer service, and that number will be on the back of your ID card. You'll also have access to our clinical rapid response team, whether you have a chronic condition or cancer. We know when you hear that diagnosis cancer, you want an appointment the very next day with whoever you need to be seen by. A lot of times it can take 3 or 4 months to get into a physician. You contact our clinical rapid response team. They'll respond typically within 48 hours. And a lot of times they've been able to get appointments for our members a lot sooner than that, 3 to 4 months. With the high deductible health plan, between Sedona Fire and yourself, you contribute funds to an HSA account. Use those expenses or that account for qualified medical, dental, or vision expenses to pay the providers. So you make the contributions and you can elect to either have those funds stay in your account or you can use them to pay for services. If you elect to pay out of your own personal checking account, just make sure you save the receipts as you can reimburse yourself at any time. There is a triple tax savings with the high deductible health plan. Monies go in tax-free. As long as you use them for qualified expenses, they're distributed tax-free, and they also earn tax-free interest. In order to be eligible, you have to be over the age of 18. You can't be covered under another health plan, and you can't be covered as a dependent on someone else's tax return. Now, the IRS does set limits as to how much you can contribute on an annual basis. And this would be between what you put in as well as Sedona Fire. For an individual, it's $4,150, and for a family, it's $8,300. If you're over the age of 55 like myself, you can contribute an extra $1,000. On our website, you have direct access to health equity. And for anyone that currently has a health equity account, those will be moved over to Blue Cross. You will not receive a new HSA card unless yours is expiring or you're newly enrolled. Once you have enough funds in your account, you can also invest those monies to help grow your account faster. And of course, Health Equity has a mobile app as well. So you have that in your palm of your hand. You can pay your providers, you can reimburse yourself, you can check your balances, and even invest right from the palm of your hand. This is a copy of what the Health Equity Savings Account card looks like. You can also upload your receipts to Health Equity if you don't want to save a paper copy. And just for being a Blue Cross member, you have access to ShareCare, which is our health and wellness tool. You can find articles, and once you start scrolling through those articles, we'll figure out what you like, what you don't like, and will be tailored to you. We also have the real age test on there. You can go through and answer some lifestyle questions. What do you eat? How often do you exercise? How much sleep do you get? Are you stressed? Those types of questions to find out your real age. We hope that members come up with a younger age than an older age on that real age test, but it's always fun to do to see what your number comes out to be. Through ShareCare, we also have OVIA, which is our pregnancy tool. Whether you're planning on becoming pregnant, you're pregnant, or you're in menopause, there are coaches and articles and assistance to help you through that journey. And of course, everybody loves discounts. So through Blue 365, you can get discounts on exercise, clothing and equipment, hearing aids, LASIK eye surgery, gym membership, and assorted other things. I know that for my husband, he was going through his shoes every 3 to 4 months. Luckily, those were Skechers, and Skechers was one of the vendors. I believe they still are. And we can get a 30% discount off his shoes every 3 to 4 months. So that was really helpful since he was wearing through the tread on those. Any questions? Oh, with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Julie, and thank you very much.
I just wanted to point one thing out with the health equity cards. If you're currently on the HSA, all your balances will roll over, so you don't need to do anything. And you will not get a new card unless it's expiring. So, or if you're newly enrolling onto the HSA and putting funds into that account. So just a little pointer.
Okay, and
Okay.
Actually, I'll answer this one online. We got a question
We're good?
on FSA. Actually, you know what? Cascade, I'm going to unmute you so you can ask your question.
Can you hear me?
Sure
I have
can.
really bad service. So I have a question because I'm on my husband's insurance through his work through the government, and I don't have an HSA anymore. So could I still sign up for the FSA? And then I was wondering how much actually rolls over each year.
So Sedona Fire is sponsoring an FSA outside of the PFFA plans. There are no district contributions to those, and you contribute for the year, and whatever you don't use by the end of the year, you lose. So I can send you some additional details on the FSA. but it is one of those plans, unlike the HSA, that is a use it or lose it.
Okay, so there's nothing that rolls over because I think my husband's is like 700 rolls over each year, no matter what. But okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, we are
All
good.
right, we're going to move on to the MetLife programs. We're going to talk about dental. So dental, we have two different plans, a high and a low option. I'll go over those, but I wanted to talk about in-network. So it's very important that you stay in-network. We're using the PDP Plus network. So if you log on to MetLife, that's what you're going to want to select. It's a national network, so you shouldn't have any issues finding a dentist. Staying in network saves you 30 to 45% on your bills because they've contracted with MetLife. So we want to make sure you stay in network. It's important. When you go to your dentist, you don't ask if they take your insurance, you ask if they're contracted, because they will take whatever you have and then they'll bill you later. So make sure you point that out when you go to the dentist and ask that question. In network, the dentist will file your claims for you. If you're out of network, you will have to do that on your own. And staying in network, if you have some major services you need done, they can give you a pre-treatment estimate because they know what your insurance will cover. Going out in network is kind of a guessing game because they're not sure what the insurance will pay for that. So in network is very important. So I just wanted to point that out. So first we're going to go over the high plan. You'll see that it's broken down into three categories, A, B, and C. Your A category is for your preventive. So that's your biannual cleanings. So please make sure you're going and getting your cleanings done. Those are covered at 100%, no deductible. Now, if you go for your cleaning, you sit down in the chair and they want to do a deep cleaning, then that's no longer a preventive service. It falls into that type B under the basic service and goes to the 80% with that $50 deductible. So if they want to do extras, it's gonna move to the next category. Type, yep.
Can you find the difference between the two?
So like if you have periodontal cleanings, if you have receding gum lines and they want to do that deep cleaning, it will fall into the type B. So type A is just your basic cleaning, nothing extra, your x-rays, fluoride for children, that's not covered for adults. But if you need any other, and you'll know if you go in and they tell you, you need a deep cleaning because we see that your gums are receding, then that's going to fall in the type B service. That answer your question? So when you typically go to the dentist for your routine cleanings, it's just.
I don't know the difference of what they give me.
Well, then you're probably just getting the normal preventive exam. Otherwise, you would know if you're getting deep cleaning, believe me. So in that type B also, cavities are covered and root canals, which are really fun. But usually root canals fall into that major service. So this is a value add, I guess you could say. If you need a root canal, it's covered at 80%. And then type C, major services are for your crowns. We do cover implants. Dentures are also covered under that major service. And you'll see that you have an annual deductible. That only applies to that type B and C service, so not to that preventive unless you're getting that extra cleaning. And it's $50 for an individual or times 3 for family. So if you have a family of 4, you only need to meet that 3 times. The maximum benefit is $2,000 per person. And that's what MetLife will pay. So you'll see where the coinsurance is, the 80% and the 60% for the B and C services that MetLife pays will not exceed $2,000. Now, to make this a little bit more confusing, the medical plan runs plan year, so 7/1 to 6/30. The dental runs calendar year, so January 1st to December 31st. So a little bonus for y'all, since you're starting on July 1, you get that $2,000 bucket starting July 1 and it resets January. So if you have some major services you need to get done, make sure you go to your dentist and maybe you can plan that out to get some done this year and then start next year so you get that value added benefit. Ortho is covered at 50% for adults and children, so that's a great bonus as well. So if you want to go get your Invisaligns or braces as an adult, you can do that. Children are covered up to the age of 26, and that goes for the medical, dental, and vision programs, regardless if they're in your household or not. Any questions on the high plan? Okay, we're going to move on to the next plan. So the base plan or the low plan is just like the high plan, is broken down into the 3 categories. Preventive is the same, covered at 100%, but you'll see that the basic and the major goes from an 80% to a 70% on this plan. And the major goes from 60 to 50. So you will pay more out of pocket for this plan. The annual deductible is still the 50 times 3 for family, and the benefit maximum is cut in half. So it's 1,000 rather than the 2,000. And then the orthodontia benefit is included in this plan, but it's $1,000 per person, not two. On the orthodontia, I did want to point out that's a lifetime maximum. So if you currently have somebody in braces and insurance is already paid, they will take that into consideration and apply that to the 1,000 or the 2,000 on the other plan, because it's a lifetime per person. So once you use that, you can't use it again. All right. Any questions on the dental? We're going to move on to life insurance, which is really exciting, right? All right. So life insurance, I want to remind everybody to make sure your beneficiary is up to date. It's very important. If you get married, you get divorced, you want to have the person as your beneficiary that you want to have that money should you pass. We find a lot of times people forget to do that. And that money goes to somebody that they really didn't want it to. So make sure that's updated. Having a life insurance plan under your employer, there's less underwriting and the cost is more. So I'm hoping you all signed up for the voluntary life when we're able to take advantage of that cost. And on the voluntary life, it's portable. So should you leave Sedona Fire, you can bring it with you. So another value add with the life insurance. All right, so as an employee of Sedona Fire, you automatically get $50,000 of life insurance. No cost to you at all. You'll also see that AD&D is next to that. So how this works is you get a double benefit should you pass due to an accident. So if you pass due to a heart attack, that's just a life insurance claim. But if you decide to go out and get crazy and get in a UTV accident and happen to pass away, you, or not you, because you won't be here, your beneficiary would get that AD&D benefit. So it would double. So it would be $100,000. Okay. So voluntary life. So you'll see that you can purchase, if you choose to do so, for employee, spouse, and dependents. But if you did not elect the voluntary life when you were initially hired on as an employee, you will have to answer medical questions. And we will have the questionnaire posted onto the portal if you want to do that. So I'm hoping you all signed up for the voluntary life insurance when you were newly hired. Any voluntary life insurance that you did elect, we are honoring that. So if you already went through medical underwriting, you already signed up for the max that you could, we are honoring that and it's carrying over. You don't need to do anything. But should you choose to enroll in more at open enrollment, you can do that. For employee in increments of 10,000 up to 500,000. For your spouse, increments of 5,000 up to 50% of the employee amount or 150. And then your dependent child, depending on the age, up to $10,000. Now, if you choose to do that, you'll have to answer those medical questions, but you have that option if you want to do that at open enrollment.
I have a question in regards to the voluntary life
Okay.
for spouse.
Yep.
Now, is that 50% of the combined total of basic and voluntary, or just the total of voluntary?
Just the total of voluntary. So the employer paid life is a whole separate bucket. So it would be whatever the employee has elected as their voluntary amount.
And 50% is the
And
max.
50% of that, yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions on the line? All right, so these are some things that you can use while you're still alive through MetLife. Just because you have the life insurance, you can get free grief counseling through MetLife. A lot of people forget that it's out there. You can go through your plan, but you will pay co-pays that will go towards your deductible. So remember that you have this free grief counseling. You'll have to go to one of the MetLife contracted partners, but you can find that online. So just a value add with that. If you elect the voluntary life, if you're currently on it today, you get a free will prep. This will save you $300, $500. So if you don't have a will, I encourage you all to do this. It's free. And again, you'll have to use one of their contracted legal providers, but take advantage of that while you can. And then, like I said in the beginning, you can take that voluntary life with you. It is portable. It will cost you more once you leave the company, but you can have that guarantee amount that you initially had and not lose that. Okay. All right, moving on to vision. So vision, we use the VSP network, but we have MetLife insurance. So when you go to your optometrist, make sure you tell them you have MetLife. If you tell them you have VSP, they're not going to find you because VSP also offers insurance. So we just use their network under the MetLife platform. So just wanted to point that out. UV coating is covered at 100%. And then we also cover the polycarbonate scratch-free just for children because they tend to be a little harder on their glasses, or most of the time, I guess.
Actually, I'm sorry.
Yep.
The polycarbonate is actually what prevents shattering.
Okay,
I
shattering.
used to be an
Oh, that's
optician
right,
back
you
in the
did,
day.
yeah.
This used to be my business.
Shattering scratches, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a bunch of angry opticians saying, what do you mean they guaranteed scratch resistance?
All right. So we have a large network, and we do have individual optometrists, and we also contract with Costco, Walmart, Sam's Club. We did find out in one of our other meetings, though, the optometrist within Costco in Prescott is not contracted. So they outsource the physician there, but the facility is. So you could go to a contracted optometrist, get your prescription, and go to Costco and fill your prescription, get your glasses, contacts, if you want to do that, but the optometrist is not. So keep that in mind. Again, just like the dental, you want to make sure you ask if they're contracted. So just another point out there. So you get a $130 frame allowance every 12 months. If you do go to Costco, Walmart, Sam's Club, you get $70 just because their rates are cheaper. So I'm going to try not to confuse you, but unlike the dental and the medical, vision runs on a frequency. So it's not calendar year, it's not plan year. Once you go in and have that exam, it starts your clock, and then you're eligible 12 months from that day. So it doesn't run plan year, doesn't run calendar year, it runs by frequency. So usually all of the doctors are familiar with this. That's how all the vision plans run. So you can just make your appointment from 1 year from the date you go get your exam. So keep that in mind.
And since you're talking about plan years versus calendar years, can you go back a bit on how the calendar year works for the dental?
Okay, so calendar year is January through December, and we'll roll over, so you'll have a new deductible starting January 1st. The medical, your deductible will start over July 1, because that runs plan year at the renewal, so 7/1 to 6/30. Good? Okay.
Oh, yeah. And then with the dental, I guess, because particularly for, actually for our actives and retirees,
Yes.
this new plan starts July 1. And then they have their deductible and co-insurance that they're eligible for through July 1 through December. And then it resets again.
Not for the medical, no.
Well, no, for the dental.
Oh, for the dental, yes. For the dental, it will reset. So a little value add for the dental because you get that 2,000 or 1,000 maximum, depending on what plan you go to. And then it resets again in January. So if you have a lot of things you need to get done on your teeth, you probably want to take that high
This is
plan
the year.
and take advantage of that $2,000. And then you can have that $2,000 again in January. So it will reset. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Oh,
Next slide.
you're waiting for the next screen, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna do that.
That's all right. Okay, so this is a comparison if you had insurance or not have insurance. It's a value if you use it, right? If you're not going to use it, then maybe, don't elect it. But, so a night exam usually costs about $140. You have that $10 copay, and then you have a $25 copay for your lenses. Now, if you go into the optometrist or Costco or wherever, and you want all those added benefits to your glasses, it's not going to be a $25 copay. They're going to add on all those extra things. So keep that in mind. So if you go in there and you just do the basics, you're going to have those 2 copays. So it will save you money if you use it and don't get all those extras. So just a little comparison there. So you do have the option to do contacts if you choose to do so, but you can only do one or the other every 12 months. So you can get your frames and lenses 1 year, do your contacts the next year, unless you're like me and you want to go get new ones every year, or you want to have contacts and glasses the same year. Maybe you want prescription sunglasses. You can do that, but only one will apply to the insurance, and then they'll give you a discount on that additional that you purchase. So just keep that in mind. And again, elective contacts are the same as the benefit for the frames, $130. You will have a fitting evaluation cost, not to exceed $60. So Optometrists want to fit your eyes before they will give you the prescription, just something that they require, so it should not exceed that $60. All right, any questions on the vision? Anybody online? Okay.
The Costco was only $70 for off on the frames, that would.
Right, so for frames or contacts, that would go the same, that $70 allowance. Okay. All right, so legal, fun topic. We've had a lot of interesting things on this legal plan. So you have something like this today. We're going to still continue to offer it through MetLife, and it will be payroll deducted. It's $18 a month. So this helps protect you. Not if you're in a huge court case. This is not the plan for you. You cannot sue your employer on this plan, so just keep that in mind. And it cannot be used for divorce. So because we represent the whole family, it cannot be used for divorce. Or if you have a business of your own, or your spouse might have a business of their own, that's a business legal matter, and that's a whole different thing. So this can help you if you have a traffic ticket you want to fight. You can use it for that. If you have a neighbor that's being unruly and you need some help with that, you can call and get some advice with that. And we did have our MetLife rep have them write a letter to his Cox Communications provider because he canceled it and they didn't want to give him his money back. So they wrote up a letter and he sent it in and he got his money back. So a lot of little things. So again, this isn't for you to use if you're in a lot of trouble, but it is out there and it's cheap. Through the legal plan, you can also get a trust written up, which costs you, we found out from a lot of people in our meetings, $4,000, depending on who you go to. This, you can go and get that written up just for the $18 a month. Now, you do have to stay in this for the whole year, next year at open enrollment. If you don't want it, you can go get your trust this year and drop it next year. But keep that in mind. A lot of people are using this for the trust, so just a bonus.
And this plan, like the life insurance, it's only available to active employees.
Yes.
Right.
Only- Yep, because it is payroll deducted. Yes. Sorry.
Question.
Yeah.
So based off of that, last year, we paid for the full year out of pocket and when I left. Is that an option to pay it all up or is that as a retiree?
Not as a retiree. It is one of those plans that is strictly payroll deducted for us to get the group rate.
Right. And
We
that's
have other plans that are available for retirees, but not this one.
If you want information as an individual, I can get you that, if that's something you're interested in through MetLife.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that for you. Okay, pet insurance. So this has been a really fun topic as well. So this is for your basic household pets. I know a lot of people have pigs and goats and horses. We've had a lot of questions, what's considered as a pet. So goats, horses, pigs are not. They're considered livestock. So this is for your typical cat, your dog. Some exotic animals are covered under here. But this is something that you will do on your own. So as a retiree, this is a benefit that you could take if you wanted to do so, because it's going to be direct billed to your home. It's not going to be a payroll deducted item. So we are building a website. We're going to push this out closer to 7/1. So if you want to enroll in that, you'll see a link. You'll see the information. You'll go to that link. And if you could go to that next slide, you'll see it covers a lot of different illnesses, teeth extractions, chronic conditions, even holistic care. I'm not sure what that is, but it's interesting. So there are some pre-existing conditions on this pet insurance. So if you have a dog that maybe needs surgery and you sign up for this on July 1, you're not going to be able to get that surgery on July 2nd for your pet. So keep that in mind. I think it was 10 to 14 days we found out the other day for a pre-existing. But you'll go online, answer all the questions depending on the breed, the size of your dog, the weight. They have a lot of different questions they're going to ask, and then they'll provide you a quote. So it's pretty simple. And it's not like a discount program. It's more of like an insurance. So it's like the medical plan. You'll have your copays and your deductibles. You're not going to just get a discount on your services. So any questions on the pet insurance? Wow.
And this one is for retirees as well.
This is
right?
for retirees as well. So identity fraud is not going to be payroll deducted. That will be something just like the other we're going to send you a link. And you can enroll on your own, will be billed to your home. So if you want to sign up for the identity fraud, you have something like this today. It's pretty similar, but they do a little bit more. They go to the dark web, is that? Dark web. So cybercrime is huge right now. We're finding that people are stealing identities, they're stealing your information to open up credit cards, get jobs, buy things. So unfortunately, we're seeing an increase in this. So this will look at everything, and we'll look to see if somebody's used any piece of your information, and we'll notify you. So if you could go to that next slide. There's two different plans, the protection plan and then the plus plan. So it depends on, if you're a single person, you might just want that protection plan for yourself. It includes one device. If you have a lot of children, we're finding that children are on the web, you don't know what they're doing, signing into different websites, looking at different things, and people are stealing things and nobody even knows about it. So on that protection plan plus, you can have up to 10 devices. So you can download it on their tablets, their iPhones, any electronic device that they have, and it will notify you if some part of your personal information has been used. So we've been finding this is a great thing for anybody that actually has family and children. Unfortunately, they've been a huge target. So we want to make sure that everybody's protected. Any questions on that portion? All right, so just like the other benefits, MetLife has a website, so you can go online to MetLife. I do encourage you to go online and look at if you're getting dental services done and you want to take advantage of that $2,000 or $1,000 this year, and then get that bonus again next year. You can go online to see where you're at with your deductible, how much money you have left for the year, so that you can plan your services for the next year. You will not get ID cards for the dental or the vision. They will know when you go and you say, I'm with MetLife, and you give them your social security number, your date of birth, and your name, they will find you in the system. But if you want one of those ID cards, you can download it to your phone, into your wallet. Or if maybe you have a child that's off at college or out of state, not living in your home, that might be something that you want to do for your children as well. And they have an app. So if you want it on your phone, you can download it to look at your dental and your life and your legal services, as well as the vision. So if you want to download the app, you can definitely do that as well. Any questions on any of the MetLife products? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Ashley, and she's going to go over all these fun additional benefits we're offering.
Awesome. Well, hello. Welcome back to some of the folks in the room. You came just in time. My name is Ashley Pierce. I support the PFFA Healthcare Trust, but Julie Swain is your dedicated point of contact for the trust. I'm just here to help talk about some of the fun benefits today. So the PFFA Healthcare Trust was made by firefighters for firefighters. So there's a lot of unique elements to this that are suited for your unique needs that you have on the job. So one of these is the PFFA Nurse Advocate. This shouldn't be anything new. You experienced this with Kairos with the Nurse Navigator. So if you were engaged with their team before, I highly encourage you to do so. So there's no, drop in the transition of care there. But if you haven't engaged with a Nurse Advocate before, just some of the benefits of doing so, just having that personalized support, helping you coordinate your care of complex situations, educating you, empowering you so you can be your own advocate as you navigate the healthcare system, and then also hopefully adding some dollars back into your account with some cost savings, just so we can assess if there's better folks to go to for certain needs. Her name is Wendy Denham. You can contact her through email. That's your first point of contact for her. She doesn't have a phone number available. She'll call you directly once you engage with her through email, and she will respond Monday through Friday within 24 hours.
A question about that. Does Nurse Advocate work for PFFA or does she work for Blue Cross Blue Shield?
She's dedicated to the PFFA, but Blue Cross Blue Shield also has dedicated clinical support as well.
Is this person the Blue Cross Blue Shield advocate?
No, she's hired through the PFFA Healthcare Trust. Yeah.
And there's a perk to that too, because I know sometimes people feel, nothing against Blue Cross, but some folks may feel a little uncomfortable using the advocate through the insurance company because, some people may think, well, they've got some skin in the game. But to have that outside party to consult with and talk to help you navigate through, this is a wonderful benefit. If you're not comfortable having these conversations with the actual insurance company themselves.
And a caveat that I'll say too is that all of these benefits are included for enrolled employees and enrolled retirees. So this is something that's following you from your hire all the way to retirement. And then the next, we have a cancer screening benefit. We know as firefighters, you're fortunately predisposed to a lot of carcinogens that a lot of the general population is not exposed to on a daily basis. And so we have a Vincere preventative cancer screening benefit that is located in Scottsdale, Arizona. So we are going to ask you to go down to Maricopa every 3 years to get you a comprehensive screening. Bless you. And so you can see here on the left-hand side, you're going to be spending a lot of time there that day, roughly about 3 hours of your time. They're going to be looking at you from head to toe, inside and outside. And this is also something that is offered to spouses as well. So if you're enrolled on the medical plan, you too can go and get your screening as well. And there's no age limitation. And then next we have behavioral health.
Actually, you said spouses are available and also are retirees available?
Retirees and spouses. This is something that follows you all the way through. Yep.
And that's retirees on the health plan.
Retirees on the health plan. Yes.
Yeah, that's.
That's the question. Yep. Does that clarify?
If we leave, like, let's say we leave Arizona, after we retire, do we have to come back to continue those treatments, or is there like a treatment in other places, like a place in Sear or whatever, in other places that we can go to?
Dr. Shufa could help consult on that. You know, we have a guy down at AFMA that he's moving to Tennessee. He's retiring this year. And so he's like, I'll fly back for Vincere just because he's been there. He knows, you know, the level of care that Dr. Shufa provides.
Okay.
But I'm sure that Dr. Shufa could also see if there's any contract, you know, in-network folks that she would recommend.
Okay.
Yeah. And then say.
I'm Sarah. I'm from Start Moving on Counseling. So we are lucky enough to be partnering with the PFFA for Sedona Fire for your to act as a mental health oversight as well as provide your EAP counseling sessions. So you get 12 counseling sessions per person per year. Does anyone have questions on the counseling itself? So if you are seeing a counselor outside of Start Moving On, you would just need to let us know so we can work on getting those sessions paid for. Probably the easiest way is to go to our website, startmovingon.com, and then there's a Sedona Fire tab. You can just enter in your information.
And this is retirees who are on the health plan as well, correct?
Yes, correct.
So this benefit is also available for retirees on the health plan.
Yes. All right, and then ketamine treatment. So the PFFA is currently partnered with Advanced Wellness down in Scottsdale. There's a really great option if you're wanting to do ketamine treatment. We're also working with Scott from the PFFA to see if we can get some of the facilities that we've vetted here in the Prescott Flagstaff area covered under the same benefit, as well as looking at possibly doing the stellate ganglion block under this. Does anyone have questions on ketamine or the stellate ganglion block?
All right, thank you, Sarah.
Awesome. And I will say with the ketamine too, there is a $500 cost share if you do choose to go to Advanced Wellness. It is about a 2-week process. So unfortunately, we like to have a little bit of skin in the game because it is an investment on both parties' time. So, but Vincere is embedded into your premium, so that's offered at no additional cost to you guys.
Thank you for adding that.
Yeah. So Solve Global, preface, I'm with the PFFA. I'm not a PT, so I'm going to do my best to navigate this one for you guys. But this is an MSK solution offered through the PFFA Healthcare Trust. And so we know that on the job, you incur injuries, you know, also in your personal life. I'm sure you're all living very active lifestyles, so you're prone to having some higher chances to getting an injury. So we offer an MSK solution to go get physical therapy through Solve Global. And I will say this is offered at no cost to you as well. So definitely take advantage of this opportunity, and there's no limitation to the frequency of your visits either. This is offered to retirees and to active employees enrolled on the medical plan. You'll see the name Spooner, which is a familiar name down in Maricopa County. You can go to any of their brick and mortars down in the valley if you ever find yourself down there and want to be treated, but you also will have the opportunity to have virtual care with a PT. You also can work with a contracted physical therapy location closer to you as well. So you would just get on the phone with Solve Global, they'll walk you through kind of what is going on, assess your situation, and then they'll guide you on where you can go here in Sedona as well. And then on the next slide, they will be surveying you on a monthly basis, about a 3-minute survey, just assessing if you're, facing any injuries, any pain. And so if a lot of folks down in Sedona are saying that they are in pain, they'll also send somebody on site to come treat at the station too. And then the next steps in the benefit guide on the bottom of that page, you have their phone number and a dedicated landing page for the PFFA Healthcare Trust. And then the next one is the Regenix. So if PT isn't sticking, if you've gone to a chiropractor and that isn't working and you have a severe MSK issue that you're facing, we might look at doing Regenix. And so Regenix is a non-surgical approach to helping heal some of those orthopedic injuries. And so they're basically going to take your own components of your body, so either your blood or your bone marrow, they're going to swirl that concoction up and they're going to re-inject that back into your body to help rebuild that injured area. So you can see kind of the timeline or the process. You'll examine physical therapy, go to your chiropractor, see if it can be remedied that way. Solve Global works with Regenix, so they would also recommend you go this route if they're saying, hey, we've seen you X amount of times, this isn't taken, I think it's time to look at that next step. That's where Regenix comes into play, but we are trying to avoid taking you under the knife. We know, that's a vicious cycle. Usually once you have one surgery, you're prone to have more in the future, so we're trying to avoid that at all costs. Here are some of the common conditions that you see treated. I mean, truly everything from head to toe, hand, wrist, elbow, all the way down to your ankle and your foot. And then on the left-hand side, this is an MRI of a patient that Regenix had treated. You see that was before the Regenix injection. And then on the right-hand side, you can see that tissue really rebuilding there in the knee afterwards. And this is just some testimony to what some folks are saying. They got better, they value these options. They really appreciated their employer offering this for them. And this is offered as an in-network treatment, so it'll be ran through your medical. It's going to apply towards your deductible, so this is not an out-of-network or additional cost that you're going to see. You're just going to pay your co-pays, your deductible as you normally would. And then this page is also located in your benefit guide, so their phone number, their website, and some additional information about what they treat. And our last benefit is genetic testing for prescription drugs. This is also another unique benefit with the PFFA Healthcare Trust. So I think a lot of folks, when they hear genetic testing, they think your ancestry, your DNA, and that's not what we're looking at. We are solely just looking at how your body interacts with different drugs. And so some of the benefits of doing so would be mitigating adverse drug events, drug efficacy, making sure that we're really optimizing the dosage that's associated with yourself, and then also increasing your quality of life. It can be a pain to go through and navigate that trial and error process if certain prescriptions aren't working for you. And this is going to just equip you with that information in your back pocket so you can be an advocate for yourself with your doctors. And then as far as the steps in doing so, they'll essentially just send you your kit and be registered through Magnolia Point. This, again, is a voluntary benefit, also no cost to you. And so you'll register your kit, you'll take your sample, send your swab back to them, and then they're going to run that against hundreds of different drugs, and then they will send you back your results with what essentially your genetics and prescription drugs are working with you. And this is also offered to retirees. And with that, that concludes all of our firefighter benefits.
Thanks, Ashley. All right, so we are done. With our whole presentation, we want to remind everybody that the benefit guide is available to you online as well as in front of you. I am Julie Swain. I am your dedicated account manager through the trust. You can reach out, call me, text me, email me, and I will get back to you should you have any questions. And then you also have your wonderful HR team if you can't reach me or you want to reach out to them as well. Remember to go online. You have a deadline to enroll in your benefits, which is the 23rd. If you don't, you will not have any coverage. So very important. Log on to your UKG site and enroll in your benefits.
I will also throw out of your questions. With this big change, we're anticipating that as you guys go through the enrollment process, things are going to pop up. So yes, please contact Julie. She's making herself available for retirees. Don with PFFA and his contact information is in the email that was sent out to you. Reach out to him when you're running into challenges with your enrollment. Brandon and I are still going to be available for you, but if you're reaching out to us through email, please use payroll@sedonafire.org so that both of us get the email. Confession, I'm going to be out of the office probably for the rest of the month, so I'll be popping in here and there. But if both of us can be notified that you have a question, that increases the chances of us getting back to you sooner. I think there was something else, but I can't remember. Yes, please.
How would we enroll as retirees?
So in your guide, you'll notice you got a separate guide that says retiree on the front. All the retirees should have had a separate guide. That's the one I handed you, right? Perfect, okay. So you have a different website. It won't be UKG. It'll be through Boone Chapman, and it goes through the whole process. It gives you the link, so you want to go to the link. You'll put in your social security number, and then your ID number is the last 4 of your social and the last 2 of your birth year. And all that's in the guide, so you don't need to remember it. And then it will log you through every single benefit, and you'll just go through just like you did in UKG. Okay, if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to me. Okay.
And your rates are in the guide as well. I know we didn't go through rates in the presentation, but they're in each of the guides, the active employee and the retiree guides. So.
Okay, well, thank you. If you have any questions, we'll be here for a little bit.
So that wraps up the PFFA piece. But for those active employees who may have enrolled in the MetLife accident, MetLife hospital, MetLife cancer, those plans end July 1st. You will not be able to enroll in them, but you can enroll in those benefits through AFLAC. Now, one important thing with the AFLAC plans, you cannot enroll in AFLAC plans on the UKG website. You must make direct contact with our AFLAC representative, Jason Perkins, who's here. So he's going to take over on this part, give you some contact information on how you can add it, remove it, make adjustments. Jason will be handling that. So the floor is yours.
Thanks, Fiona. Welcome to the open enrollment. This is our 24th year helping out you guys in AFLAC. We really are proud to help you guys out. This is a lot of benefits that you guys have. It's great. It seems like it'd be really great to work here with all the benefits you have. The benefits that we offer at AFLAC are called supplemental insurance. AFLAC, no matter what your major medical insurance is, AFLAC pays directly to you. So you use the money for your expenses. So whatever you do with the money is up to you on those things. But the main thing is we help you out with major things. One of the things we help out with this series is cancer. It's called cancer insurance. Cancer insurance is a bundle of things, a preventative measure, as well as a benefit to help you after you get cancer. So there's benefits in here that pay you for a wellness visit, that actually pay you for staying healthy. And so you can file that claim, whether you pay for your wellness or not. You still can file a claim on this and get paid your wellness visit. You also have benefits for everything imaginable in cancer, from annual cancer care afterwards to skin cancer from melanoma, or you have obviously internal cancer of all types with chemo and radiation and hospitalization and hospice and everything. I helped a woman get paid. She was up in Sholo and she had to stay at City of Hope. She got $40,000 from AFLAC, and I hear many cancer claims that are in the six-figure claims, because those are like dealing with going back and forth to cancer centers to get treated, to get help. But we deal with a lot of cancer claims on the cancer insurance, and your children are free on the cancer insurance. It's important to know that. And then the hospitalization plan. Some of the employees have asked me how they use this. They would use this hospital plan for a variety of reasons. It could be for having a baby. It could be for surgery. It could be for going in for your colonoscopies, endoscopies. It's all in there. Everything imaginable is in a hospital plan because it's for illness and accident. And it has physician visits, ambulance, major diagnostic, all that's inside of a hospital plan, and short stay and overnight stay in the hospital. So some of these plans overlap each other. So to explain it, if a person got cancer, let's say they had both those policies, they can make a claim on both policies. So they would have money coming from two insurance plans, and that is an example. Another benefit we offer is called the accident plan. The accident policy has got to be the one that I've seen the most claims, other than cancer insurance, on a regular basis, because it's easy to get hurt, not just because you're a firefighter, but you could be a plumber, you could be a teacher, you could be any profession, and you could have accidents. This covers everything from ATV accidents to sports injuries to car accidents to work injuries. Any injury, including work. I had a guy years ago, he worked at a manufacturing plant, but he got hurt at home using his table saw, he cut his finger off. And this pays for injuries of all types. And it pays for loss of life. It also pays for a wellness visit. So there's a lot of benefits in an accident plan that go from urgent care to the worst case ICU. And then we have short-term disability. Now, short-term disability is unique because with your profession, you have some sick pay or some time off you can use to get paid. We also pay you for missing work. So if I was working here and I missed 2 weeks of work because I hurt my ankle, I could get paid for those 2 weeks from Aflac, from the disability plan. If you have the disability insurance, it'll pay for illness and accident, and it pays 66% of your income, or whatever income you ask me to cover up to that. But that disability plan will cover you all the way till the age of 75. On that note, all the policies go with you when you leave Sedona Fire District, and they stay the same rate. I had this question at a company yesterday. The rates never change. I've seen all you guys, I've seen hundreds of companies that I take care of over the years, and the rates don't change. So if you're spending $13 every 2 weeks on an accident plan, it's gonna be $13 every 2 weeks when you're 80 years old. It's not gonna change. So these are really good plans and the rates are guaranteed. The critical ill care policy is one with heart attack, stroke, a renal failure, third-degree burns, vegetative state. This policy is a major event policy. It also pays a lump sum of money of $5,000. My wife had an event like that, and we got $11,000 because the policy had increased value, and she got paid for also recovery at home, staying at home and not being able to work. So there's so many things we offer at Aflac, but hopefully what I went over helps you. What's really important is I get back that sheet from you that you want some information, or you want to be able to sign up, or whatever you want to do on your Aflac. I need to hear back from all the employees who want to be able to make changes this year. If you don't make changes, it just rolls over and stays the same as it always has. But I really appreciate you letting me come on here. I did bring some ducks for you, so if you want a duck, come grab one afterwards. And hopefully this presentation helped you. Is there any questions anybody has? Good. Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. So that concludes our open enrollment. And again, May 23rd is the day. For active employees, please log on to UKG to make your benefit elections. And in that process, you also want to make sure that you select which members of your family are going to be on those various plans. For our retirees, please go to the PFFA website and make your benefit elections there. With all that said, we're going to go ahead on, maybe. Okay.
This applies to us, so I can answer outside. But
Okay, well, with that, then what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and thank you all for attending.
So now that you're not recording anymore.
Oh, I'm still recording. Hold on, just give me a moment here.